Okay, recording is on. So yesterday we have seen what do you mean by the promises. We have implemented the promises as well. We have implemented what? Promises as well. And we have seen things about the promise. In the asynchronous programming, we have talked about the promises. Now, today we will see chaining of the promises. This is the 16th lecture. New folder, day 60. readme.md. readme.md. Async programming, and here we can say chaining of promises. What do you mean by chaining? app01.js. Now here you can say const.
Sir, please share your screen.
Yeah, you see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
PRM is equals to new promise, and we have seen there is a resolve and reject. If this promise is going to return, now here I can say resolve status success. Status what? Success. Then here you can say PRM dot then. Okay, we have seen the states of the promises: fulfilled, pending, and error. Correct? Fulfilled means success, pending means initial state, pending, fulfilled, or error. Now here you can write then also. One more then. Means what is happening over here? My requirement is that I want to read or I want to get data from Facebook. Then whatever data I will receive, then whatever data I will get, that data I want to clean. Means you are going to get some data. Here you can say a response, or here we can say any obj, one obj you are going to get. And here if you write console.log obj, then if you can see here node app01.js. okay, the arrow is missing here. Yeah, if you can see, this object is success, but from here you can return that object and then you can capture it into another then block. So here you can say console.log obj. Again you will get same output. So this is a first then, this can be second then, there can be one more then, like this obj arrow console.log obj. From here you will perform some operation on that object. Presently we are not performing the operation. So here in this then you have got the data, or here you can say here you got the data from Facebook, you got the data from Facebook, you cleaned the data and passed it to next processing stage. So here you cleaned the data, right? Here you modified as per requirement. You have modified this data as per the requirement, and then you have utilized that data, and then you have utilized what? That data. Correct? Hello? Chaining. This thing is called as what? Chaining. And at the end you can write catch block also. If there is any error in between this, you can console.error, you can print that error, or you can handle that error in this way. You can handle that error in this way. Chaining of the promises. Promises are chained. You can chain it. So here I can push this much code. JavaScript. Chaining of promises. Okay. Now,
Sir, what is the you clean the data?
clean means what? Unwanted things you have removed from the data and just you kept. Just example. This is one example.
Yes.
You can use this analogy anywhere. One example connecting to, you can take another example connecting to DB. Okay. Now read. So here, here you will write this promise will connect to the database. You need to read the data from the database. You need to read the data from the database. So first stage is a connection. So here you will get connected to the DB. Then after connecting, you are going to read the data. And after reading, I want to remove few records. That you will do over here. Then whatever data you have removed, that data again modified and then utilized. And in between that, if you get any error, that error would be printed. Just we are printing. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anyone else? Any query? Hello?
It is clear, sir.
Other members? Okay. So here we have, so here chaining, things can be chained like this. Now there is a one more thing when you talk about the promises. Async and await. What is the promises? Now if you see, this code is a too much. Unnecessarily it is being a lengthy code. Now here app02.js. So I can write a promise const prm is equals to new promise resolve and reject like this. So this is the promise. Now if you want to consume this promise, you need to do prm dot then. You need to do what? prm dot then, and here whatever status object you are getting, that is resolved, or rejected console.log, here you can print that obj, or if there is an error, you do something like this, console.log error. You do something like this, correct? Now this can be modified. Now here I can create a function, handle async operation, handle async operation. Instead of doing this thing, we are doing something else. And now this function is called as asynchronous function. You need to, this is the special function. This is what special function? The function which is going to handle the asynchronous operation. The function which is going to handle the asynchronous operation. That function needs to be marked as async. That function needs to be marked as what? Async. Okay. Now you don't need to write this much line of code. Here you can say const obj. So here you have consumed obj like this. Await, const obj, await prm. That's it. That's it. So this much line of code. Then you pass a function, then object is nothing but this much line of code. And if you want to handle the error, try catch and simply write this in a try catch. And you know what do you mean by try catch? Error. You getting my point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
A sync function. So whatever you have done over here, prm.then, this much line of code can be written in this way. Now, async-await is a syntactic sugar. See, it is nothing fancy. It is a syntactic sugar. Instead of writing this line of code, you can write understandable code. Asynchronous code more like in a synchronous way. You can write asynchronous code more likely in a synchronous way. Correct? You can write a synchronous code more likely in a synchronous way using what? The keywords, two keywords async-await is a syntactic sugar built on the top of the promise to further simplify the asynchronous code, making it resemble to the synchronous code. Asynchronous code making it resemble, just looking like same, like asynchronous code. Okay. Advantages: synchronous like code. Async-await allows developers to write the asynchronous code in a more sequential, synchronous looking style. Error handling is done using standard try-catch blocks, enhancing the readability and maintainability. Sequential execution, the flow of the code is more intuitive, making it easier to follow and reason about the code. But remember that underlying, they are the promises. So this PRM is nothing but what the promise. So before promise, you write await keyword. Underlying, they are the promises. Are you getting my point? What are they underlying? They are promises underlying. Nothing fancy. They are promises underlying. So async-await built on the top of the promises. A synchronous function marked with the async keyword always return a promise. Asynchronous functions marked with the async keyword always return a promise, and await keyword used to wait for the resolution of the promise. As you say, promise is the future entity. Something is getting executed in the future, right? So chaining can also be done in the same fashion, right? But async and await. Async and await. Here we can resolve one object, or you can reject also, no problem. Error failed. Error what? Failed. So instead of this, instead of above, you can write below code. Instead of that, you can write what? This below code. Is that clear? Remember that we have completed asynchronous programming in 3 lectures. This is the last lecture of your JavaScript. There is one example we are going to see about the promises, but after the DOM. From tomorrow, we are going to start with the DOM manipulation. What we are going to start with? DOM manipulation. So far, we have seen how to create a UI. We have seen the programming language which is going to help you in making your website dynamic. That part we are going to start from tomorrow. So this much was remaining in the asynchronous programming that I have covered. So here we can say JavaScript async chaining, async await. Okay. So I don't want to start a new session today, but from tomorrow we are going to start the DOM manipulation. Okay. What I request you, revise the asynchronous programming. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Revise asynchronous programming. Am I audible, team?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then let's conclude for a day. We'll meet tomorrow. Same time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.